Hello, it's Ricky Hatton here. Make sure you subscribe and like the Triple B, eh? And my pay-per-view fight is for charity and the fans who suffered on the COVID lockdown, eh? Will you turn up and watch me fight for 100 quid? Unless you're Mike Tyson, because you'll be in bed with my wife and I'll tuck you in, eh? Yes. Wagwan shalom and salam alaikum, yes, brothers. So. You know, I'm a bit sick of boxing. I've said that many times, you know. It's all about contractual negotiations and exhibitions and stuff. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Ricky Hatton vs Marco Antonio Barrera. June 2nd is happening. Yeah. And Ricky, as you all know, is doing it for the fans. You know, he's doing it for the fans, he says. Now, it's going to be shown on pay-per-view on Fight TV, I think, £10.99. So them fans who've suffered under COVID, can pay £11 almost to watch an exhibition, which is, you know, thanks, Ricky. I was a big fan of yours, man. Thank you. And yeah, I suffered during the lockdowns, blood. I'm so happy that you're looking after the Triple B. I don't think I'll be paying for it, to be honest, man. You know, you can fish in a stream and find something else. You know, the tickets are, I think, as I can find out, and you can never really tell because you get all these sites that resell tickets, and it seems to have almost sold out. I mean, I had a look at ticket sites, but it might be, you know, what they call them guys that buy tickets and resell them. Might have taken a lot of tickets thinking it was going to be big. So I don't know if it is actually a sellout. But tickets seem to be priced between £60 and £250. Ricky, thanks, bloods, man. You know what? You warm my heart. You warm my heart that you're doing it for us fans, eh? Yeah, now, you know, before I go into Ricky and slate him, you know, and people think, you know, I've had people complain in my videos about, Ricky he's a working class lad, a hero. He's a working class lad with a fortune of about 50 million quid who got ironed out in his big fights. But yeah, actually, I was a big fan of his. I said that many times when I was, you know, I liked his aggression. I thought he let people down because later on he would just get fat in the pub, drinking, yeah. He got knocked out by a bodybuilder over an argument about a fruit machine, yeah. You know, and he wouldn't train. You know, remember that performance on, I don't know, some sports stars things where they match up different sports stars and he was like overweight and could barely run, he'd waddle. You know what? So, you know, he spent his whole camp losing weight. Yeah, just concentrate on losing the weight, and that weakens you, man. You know, and I think he underperformed. You know, and I do think he had a chance against Gay Weather. You know, but the referee just ruined it. I mean, he actually troubled Gay Weather early. Sorry, man, my Tyson the Bulldog's snoring. Yeah, can you hear him? Look, listen. Been out for a big walk, blood. You know, Bulldogs don't walk far, but for him. So, anyway, forget about that. Ricky Hatton. So, what's, you know, and I got to give him credit, man. You know, he's done really well losing the weight. You know, he does look like the old Ricky Hatton, except slightly chunkier. He weighs about 12 stone at the minute. Yeah. Now, obviously, as prime, he's boxing a light welter, which is 140. He boxed at 147 against... what's his name? What's that guy? Some Puerto Rican guy. He won the title, but it was a tough fight. Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to give Ricky a lot of credit for dropping all that weight. You know, having said that, that's what he did. You know, his latter part of his career was just drop the weight with sweatsuits and stuff like that. It's not very healthy. You know, it's not very healthy. But he does look really slim. He you know, he looks. Well, I wouldn't say he looks like a premier athlete, but he looked in great shape compared to before, the fat pig that he was. Yeah, he's been inspiring his son, Camp Bellend Hatton. Now, Camp Bellend, as we know, is a lightweight. Yeah, and you know, come on, man, he's just waiting to get ironed out. I mean, Ricky is always buoying him up, and Matthew, the uncle, but we all know he's going to get ironed out. He lost one fight anyway, and he's a cocky little, you know, a prick. Yeah, and it's a shame, you know. And Adam Smith was like, "Oh, the hairs are standing up on the back of my neck. It's like the old days, isn't it, Johnny?" Yeah. And when Hatton Hatton Jr. Campbell made his debut, and he was pushed way too fast. I mean, Ricky should have known, just hold him back a bit. Anyway, they were sparring. There's no footage, right? There's no footage. Ricky hasn't put any footage up. Obviously, probably embarrassing for both of them. They probably both look supremely whack. Yeah, and to be honest, it'd be a lot more interesting for me, if Ricky fought an exhibition against his own son rather than Barrera, because you'd be like, hang on, this is quite fun, There've been some instances of fathers fighting their son before. Some German dude, can't remember his name. But anyway, this is the exhibition. So I don't think there's any weight limit, as long as they weigh reasonably. Ricky was weighing at 12 stone this week. So he's still 2 stone above his fighting weight, but he's like 43 or something. So it's okay. But it's an exhibition. There's no decision, so it doesn't. There's no winner announced. I'll be hugging and kissing at the end and go, it's great to be back and all that and blah de blah. But Barrera's quite spiteful, yeah. Now Barrera fought at lower weight as well, so Hatton will have a natural weight advantage. But Barrera looked quite good in his exhibitions, to be frank. So let's see what Ricky's got to say for himself. So it's allegedly for charity, eh? That's nice, isn't it, Ricky? Yeah. And Ricky has dedicated the exhibition to those who suffered during the COVID-19 lockdowns. Thanks, Ricky. That's me, man. I'm so glad that the Illuminati locked me down in my house. But I get to watch a Ricky Hatton exhibition, as long as I'm ready to pay the £10.99. I'll pay at least £60 for the ticket. Yeah. So what's the undercard like? Well, the undercard is... I think there are only 2 fights that have been announced, right? So there's a guy called Dan Hardy. Yeah, now Dan Hardy is an ex-UFC guy. I think he might have fought for the world title. I don't follow UFC that close. And a guy called Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez is a real interesting guy. He was on the roster for 15 years, but he's nuts, and he's had a few beatdowns. He's punch drunk, and they haven't boxed professionally. But I mean, it's reasonably interesting. But I mean, it's still bunch of guys who retired, yeah, and it's surprising. Hardy had to retire because he had a cardiac ablation. I don't know what that is, but something to do with the heart, and but he's been given a clearance to fight again. So there we go. And also on the card, there's a fight between 2 rappers, Casper Welsh and Don Strapzy. I don't know if I pronounce. I don't know. I've never heard of these guys, man. Never heard of these guys. I don't know what color they are. Yeah. I don't know. Oh no, hang on. It says here, Walsh is one half of the Irish group Versatile, who are known for their hit single Ketamine. Great. So we got a Kethead, a Kethead fighting another non-entity, and that's your 10.99, man. So there's no real fights on there really. There's no real fights there. So, and I don't know. I mean, I'd like to know how much of this is going to charity, because big charities are scams. Yeah? You look at big charities and how much money, so for your pound that gets put in, how much money gets given to the cause? Yeah, the average is like 30% or something. Some of them are as low as 10%. Most of it goes to, office space, paying people to work there, especially the directors. You get some directors of these big charities who get about 250 grand a year just to turn up to a couple of meetings. Yeah, it's a scam. Big charities never give to big charities. Give to local charities or people in the street, individual guys begging. Yeah, and they might spend the money on crack or skag, but, or the special brew, but at least, I'd rather do that. They get to choose. Yeah? Anyway, so I don't know they haven't revealed how much, if Ricky's taking any money. Apparently it's for charity, but you don't know, man. What percentage of the money is going there? What percentage of the profit is going there? They don't tell you, obviously. They don't tell you, yeah. And Ricky, so apparently it's going to be a party kind of atmosphere, a thriller type thing, Ricky goes, join me for a huge party night with top music acts in Manchester on July the 2nd. It's not how you fall, it's how you rise. Yeah, right. My Hatton accent is not great, but it's nasal, his twang, isn't it? But, so, I mean, to be honest, Ricky, you didn't rise, did you, against Mayweather? You got flattened, yeah? Shevchenko busted you up with a body shot. You know, that took you a bit of time to rise from. And as for Manny Pacquiao, that took you 2 hours after you got flatlined, and you know, and your girlfriend, you know, the like gold digger one is crying, hey, Ricky, said all the cameras go on her. Anyway, so it's just another farce. I don't mind these things in theory, you know. If people are ready to pay for them, well, if people are dumb enough to pay for them, then let them. And if people stop paying for them, then they would probably hardly ever happen. You know, you get a few egotistical ones. They didn't happen in the old days, did they? Maybe they missed a trick, but, you know, people are willing to pay for it. That's up to them. I would not be paying the $10.99 pay-per-view, yeah, to watch it. But I'm vaguely interested. What am I interested in? I'm interested in seeing how bad Hatton is. And I'm interested in him getting stopped. It doesn't look likely. Him and Barrera are pals anyway. You know, they'll have a little spar for 8 rounds, eh? And, you know, there'll be no winner. Then you get the punch on Diego Sanchez, who shouldn't be fighting, man. He's taken so many shots in the octagon. And Dan Hardy, who's had a heart problem. And 2 rappers. Think about that. 2 rappers who've never boxed before. 2 UFC guys, one of who had a heart problem, the other one who's punch drunk, yeah, who've never boxed before. I mean, obviously they can fight, but they've not done an official pro boxing match or amateur. And then you got Reke, yeah, fighting a 48-year-old man, you know. And they want 11 quid for this. It's a bit tragic, man. It's a bit tragic. But this is modern boxing, man. I'm sick of this thing.